Yeah, g'day everybody. Just going to give you a quick demonstration video on Samsung fridge. This model here is it's the SRS 585 HDIS. Now there's a very common theme with these fridges. I did a fair bit of research when I bought this fridge, and it wasn't until after I bought it and these things started to come out of the woodwork later on that there was some pretty big faults with them. So the fault that is in question this time is the clicking around the fan noise. Pretty sure every Samsung fridge has done it at some stage. So first of all, I sort of thought, I'm going through a process of elimination with this. Is it the defrost heater? Is the defrost heater working? I've sort of established that by saying, put my multimeter on these two wires. Now this is Australian, 240 volt AC, of course, and it's a 140 watt element. So I've put my multimeter on there. I've checked these two wires, and I've got, I think it's about 330 ohms, which tells me it's about 150 watt. That says on the label 140, so that's all good. But to test that, this is pretty hard to see. You hold these two buttons, power, freeze and fridge. Once this screen goes blank, press freezer twice. This comes up RD. It actually forces the fridge into defrost mode, so I'm just going to do that. But sorry about the camera work, but there's not much I can do. I'm holding it and sort of explaining at the same time. So I'm just holding the power, freeze and fridge button. Screen goes blank. 1, 2. I think that's right. Just sit here. So that's turned the fridge on. I think it's 3 times. So one more on there. Refrigerator defrost. Solid beep. Yeah, that's it. So you press freezer 3 times. It actually will put the unit into forced defrost. So a lot of people will try, and you get a handyman out to look at these, or a service technician, and one of the first things I'll do is they'll try and sell you a new element and tell you that your element isn't working, and then they'll tell you your control card isn't working. You're 400 bucks in the hole and you're still, nothing's been fixed. What I have noticed is down here I've got to pull the water. Before I turn this on, that was all ice. I've put a few kettle loads of water down there. Now, if you've got a block drain, this is the evaporator unit. The evaporator unit is to get rid of all the water and keep this nice and dry. If you can't get rid of the water, the evaporator unit just can't work efficiently. So what I believe that's causing is the build-up of ice on this back panel here. It's a little bit free because I've had this off for some time now. But the ice gets caught in that motor, gives a ticking noise, and it's not a loud noise, but at 3 AM it's sort of like a dentist drill. It can really piss me off. See that right now. So you'll see down here, you can quickly see whether or not this is working. You can hear a bit of steam coming off that element. There's nothing wrong with my control card, nothing wrong with my element. I'm going to just try and clean out this drain for now. So, alright, I'll be back. Okay, so I've got an air compressor with a nozzle. I'm just going to give this a few short bursts. This is blocked as all hell. Okay, as you can see there, I've put a few good blasts of compressed air down there. Also a couple of cups of just warm water, just a splash each time. So I'm getting a few air bubbles there now, so it looks like things are happening. but it's taken a little bit, so it must have been really blocked. I'm just going to go to the wall and take this out of forced defrost, because there's no need for that element to be on anymore. I've known that it works. Okay, so I've come to the back of the fridge here. I wasn't having much luck with that clearing out. It's only clearing very slowly, if at all. So I found the drain line. So the drain line just sits in here, just up next to this coil. Just like that, just sits off the coil a bit and in the bottom. So I've taken that off and I've given it a really good clean out. You can see still in there's some shit in the bottom of it, and only some small holes for the stuff to get through. So if it does have any sort of contaminants in there, those holes are going to block up real quick. As soon as they block up, then that ice can't get away. With the heater and the hot air rising, it's not really going to get too much heat from that defrost element. So it's pretty good point to give this a good clean, bit of a scrub under some hot water. I was saying before, I got this in 2010. I've never actually taken that off, so it's probably a good thing. As soon as I've done that, bang, she started flowing away straight away. That started flowing. There's a bit of dust and stuff in here as well, which I might give a bit of a clean out while I'm here. Just a bit of maintenance. Yeah, because that's any sort of dust on your coil is going to cause a bit of an inefficiency. So power's off at the wall. Try and do this stuff with no power on. I'm sparky myself, so can be a bit careful around it, but I'd suggest you turn the power off. It's always the better way. Okay, so I've just given that a bit of a blow down. It's much cleaner than what it was. Just got all the dust and that out there. You can see it's all over the ground. Yeah, so just ready to put this cover back on, which is about 5 or 6 screws or something like that. And then I'll head back around to the front and we'll start to clean the evaporator cover. Okay, so I've got the evaporator cover out here. I was saying before, there's ice that was going from here that grew all around here and was getting in the fan and causing the noise. So I'm pretty much just going to hose it all down, get rid of this. Then I'm going to get me blowgun and just blow in around here and just try and get any loose water out. I'd rather, when I'm putting it back together, I'd rather start it all back up with minimal amount of moisture in there as possible, to save that moisture turning back into water again. Although if that drain's working, that the evaporation should be working properly. Alright, so my evaporator cover's all nice and clean and reasonably dry, within reason. It's time to go and slap it all back in. And I stress again, make sure the power's off for this stage. These wires here are only low voltage, and I think they're 12 or 24 volt or something like that, but at the same time you don't want to be stuck around with anything if you don't have to be. Oh, there was a bit of water in there. I'll shake that out again, go again I think, and let it dry. So that unit, the evaporator panel, just sits in there like that, and I've got my 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. They go back in, along with the 2, one here and one here, which holds the little water tank up. So I'll just go ahead and put that all back together. Alright, so that's all back in again. Everything's all started up. The fan was running before I turned this on. I hope that's helped you out a little bit with this issue. Like I said, it's very common with these models to do this. Yeah, so what the aim of this is to try and stop people from having to go to the small appliance fixes every time. So we've confirmed that the heater works, we've confirmed that the control card works, we've confirmed that the sensors work. Yes, once you start adding up small bits and pieces, new control card, couple $100, new element, maybe $100, I don't know, and then you got labour. you know, what, $100 an hour or something, and he might be here 2 or 3 times, and you're going to get charged for that each time. So I hope that this video just helps you out with the basics, and if you do need to get a service guy out, you've done some elimination. Because like I say, these fridges are a bit of an issue. All right, cheers, catch up.